Milford Selectman Attorney Brian Murray took sharp issue with comments made by his colleague Bill Buckley and Casino Free members John Seaver and Steve Treadle on WMRC yesterday on what was the first anniversary of the Foxwoods Casino vote. Brian took issue with comments made by all three. Here's that entire interview we did yesterday. Brian, casino vote a year later. We did an interview with Steve Treadle and John Seaver. They were talking about, and I asked them specifically about that host agreement. The reason the host agreement, you and Dino supported the host agreement, was to give residents the opportunity to vote on this important issue. Correct?
Well, I was a little amazed when I heard the revisionist history of yesterday where the sudden clairvoyance of John Seaver, Steve Treadle, and Bill Buckley now know what I was thinking as a selectman. To be honest with you, I don't think those three ever know what I'm thinking. So, to say that, I was prepared, or even, Selectman DeBartolomeus was prepared to sign an agreement with Foxwoods at a certain number of money, $18 million, whatever it was, is ridiculous. I mean, the fact is, if we were, we would have made the motion at that time to do it. It was a state of negotiations in which, yes, Selectman Buckley participated in, but he was not alone. Selectman DeBartolomeus was with us, as well as myself, and we had the aid of town council and all of the town departments. And the fact was, it was a moving target. And yes, the negotiations ultimately resulted in the agreement being about $30 million. But, to say that we were prepared and we were ready to sign on for $18 million or something is totally fiction at this point.
They said no negotiations were going on.
Well, then I don't know what I was doing every night because, that's all we did. And, the thing is, and now, of course, it gets lost in the passage of time.
In hindsight, right?
Yes, but, it first came on board when I was chairman. And, the direction that I took for the board, as well as Selectman DeBartolomeus, was to bring information to the voters. That was the entire goal. So there were consultants hired by the town of Milford, which Foxwoods paid for, but they were independent consultants, all towards bringing information so that the voters could make an informed decision. And, to now say that, I personally advocated for the casino is totally false. What I advocated for was information to the electorate so that they could make an informed decision.
Without that host agreement being approved by you and Dino, there would have been no vote of the people.
Well, the fact of the matter is, because Selectman DeBartolomeus and myself did the right thing and the responsible thing, it gave Selectman Buckley the luxury of having it both ways. So he could come out politically and say, hey, I'm against this casino, but I'm for people voting for it. Well, unless you take the courageous stand of signing a host agreement, there's nothing to vote for. And you're effectively depriving the citizens of Milford their voice on this very important issue, which both Selectman DeBartolomeus and myself thought was essential that people vote on.
Town Council Jerry Moody worked on for months that host agreement that was the crux of everything.
Well, he certainly spearheaded it, and we also had the aid of the Chicago Council. Yep. And, we also had the aid of the numerous consultants, whether it's traffic, water, sewer, environmental. And, all of that formed the actual agreement which framed the issue and allowed people to vote on it. And that's what was supposed to happen, and that's what should have happened, and that's what did happen. That's the courageous thing to do. It's not courageous to say back and say, oh, I'm against this casino, we shouldn't have it. The courageous thing is to do the hard work, do the investigation. I don't lament the fact that we spent time evaluating that issue. The alternative is what? To do no investigation? To simply say no to something that could affect people's lives in the community for years to come? No, the responsible and the courageous thing to do was what Selectman DeBartolomeus and myself did. We put in the time, we put in the effort, we put together an agreement, presented it to the townspeople to allow them to make the decision. I don't know how you get any more democratic than that.
Milford Selectman Attorney Brian Murray. The casino vote in Milford was a year ago yesterday.